Morning, everybody.
Hang on, we're not on.
Oh, I'll put it on then.
Yeah, babe, I can't make Instagram and internet go faster. She's disputed a light as a light. You've questioned the speed of internet.
I thought you hadn't pressed the button.
Oh, my fucking Christ. I press buttons all day.
You can't meet people screaming.
Morning, everyone. Sorry if you're listening on podcast.
Good morning, everyone.
This is Jemima and Tarquin.
Right at the end, I think we should have 5 minutes on Married at First Sight, because last night's episode was fantastic. So remind us at the end, because you know us, we'll probably forget. Yeah. And remind us to play you the video that we didn't play you yesterday. That's for real regular viewers who know us very well, because you are literally, I really think you're going to find it funny, because it's going to be Mark and I in another 10 years, 20 years.
For those of you who have come here for the first time, fuck off. No one else does that.
Now listen.
No one else does that.
Now listen.
No one else does that.
Actually, what's better, that or hi guys, we just hopped on here.
Fuck off. No, I'm joking. If you like, hang on. I've really catered for wholesomeness today.
No, you haven't. You've been very annoying.
I've called us Jemima and Tarquin, and I have a mushroom on the top right of shot. Look.
I don't want to be a Jemima.
Look at the top right.
Yeah.
What do you want to be? We'll change it.
No, actually, wait, because that's part of our discussion.
We can change your name.
No, we're not going to change it now. They're going to help us. Okay. So let's state our case. So as you know, we've covered some really heavy...
Gwen Roberts. Hello, I'm new here. Thank you, Mark.
Gwen.
Just top tip.
I see what I mean. Gwen, you might find Gwen.
You might think about staying more often now, because you never know. You might be told to...
Don't. He's a terrible show-off. Do not encourage him, Gwen.
The way you say
you
that.
Do.
When you have come...
You're like a 7-year-old boy.
I am not a show-off. I like having fun. I've come from a school of show-offs. Italia Conti is the show-off school. All of you. I bet when you and Kelly Brook are all together, all showing off together.
Right. In a minute, I'm going to go and sit in the garden. Okay? And you can do it by yourself. Is that what you want?
No, I don't.
Right. Thank you. I'll finish what I was saying to Gwen. Gwen, imagine a 7-year-old boy, right? And you've laughed at his bum joke or his toilet joke. And then you have to listen to the bum joke or the toilet joke all day long. I'm just warning you, you're new here, Gwen. Other of our regular viewers and listeners will help you out and give you some guidance on how to deal with Mark.
With all due respect, I've already suggested to Gwen she fuck off.
Gwen, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's okay now. Do I know what it's like? She's only been here 2 minutes.
How are we related?
Right. I'm going to set out our stall.
Whilst you set out your stall, I'm going to use a visual icon.
If you bring those tomatoes over now, let me just tell people what the hell is happening today.
Okay.
We've had a couple of days of very heavy news on here. Very heavy news, and you have been wonderful sticking with us, and it's been great. It's all part of life, isn't it? But we were looking at stories today, and I said to Mark, I was in the bath at the time, I've messaged him and I said, should we just go wholesome? I was fully expecting him.
Send us a photo of your bush then.
Oh, Mark.
Doesn't get more wholesome than that.
Mark, please stop.
No, but it doesn't, does it? Let's do this. Joy of sex.
Right, in a minute, I'm just going to stay totally quiet and you can...
No, babe, it's called banter.
Yes, but there's a difference. So, we thought, let's do a bit of wholesomeness, because Mark and I dream of a wholesome life a lot. So, I asked that over on Instagram, did a poll. And also, we wanted to know what, if you want a more wholesome life, just say yes or no here. Yes, no. Because then the follow-up question, of course, is, what kind of a wholesome life? So if I say to you, Mark...
Yeah, okay, let's try it.
You want a more wholesome life?
Well, I haven't said yes or no yet.
Well, I know you do.
How the hell do you know I do?
Do you want a more wholesome life, Mark?
Sometimes.
Right, little shit. Do you want a more wholesome life?
I think we all do.
And when you think of a wholesome life, do you think more The Good Life? You know, that great 70s sitcom? Or do you think... I just want a bit more time in my own garden, and I want like a whole weekend where I can do things that just like make my heart sing? Or do you want to get in a van and travel the world and live the van life? Or is it a mixture of all?
I was going to say, I think at different times and on different occasions and in different frames of mind, all of those things, obviously not all at the same time, because you couldn't get in a van and be in your garden. But I think it's about guilt. Yes. It's about guilt-free time.
Yes.
And I think it is. I think it might be for me as simple as guilt-free time.
Matt Roth, I want more of a balance.
Yeah.
Hello, Matt. I don't think I've seen your name before.
Matt,
Good
yes,
morning.
I have. Yeah, I'm Matt Roth.
Yes, lots to wholesome life. There's lots of people saying yes. Oh, who's that? Edward wants a more adventurous life.
No, he says that's an adventurous life, not a wholesome one. The one you were describing.
Oh, the one in the van.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes, and maybe that's why it fucking terrifies me, because suddenly I've got to be in the middle of a beautiful area with nobody else there in a van.
We've got lots of clips of lifestyles that are either going to aggravate, alienate, or encourage you to kind of pursue wholesomeness.
Should we have a little quick look?
Can I just say, just quickly on the driving thing? It's interesting. For me,
driving. What are we talking about?
Adventurous in a van, getting in a van and driving. You said it.
I don't think we were saying talking about driving.
That's why he said it was adventurous. If you had a whole conversation, van,
not driving.
Van. How'd you get the van from A to B?
We're not calling it driving life, are we? We're calling it van life. It's a hashtag. It's a hashtag, baby.
Does the van move ever?
All right, Mark, let's call it the driving life.
No, does the van move?
No, yes, you're being a right little wanker.
Oh my God, answer the question. Does the van move?
A van moves when you drive it, but it is not a driving life, it is a van life.
Listen, Linda.
Look up hashtag
Listen,
life.
Linda. My point is that sounds really attractive to me. But of course, the van life is very different for the van driver versus the van person sat next to them.
Oh, here we go.
Looking out the hang on.
Yeah.
Looking out the window with their feet out the side.
And also for the person who is not driving, but is cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner
Absolutely
in a flaming
agree.
van.
Absolutely
This
agree.
wholesome life has gone tits up.
But
we're not doing the van.
I can have a crack at helping you cook. You can't help at driving. You can't even read a map.
Mark, if there's nobody else on the road, I can drive. I've got a driving license.
No, I know, but there is
Listen,
there's
I
everyone
can
on
legally drive. So if we're driving,
the...
if we are so fucking wholesome that we're in the middle of nowhere with no other fucker, I can drive all day long in a straight line.
Driving isn't wholesome.
Right. There's a lot of people here not knowing what we're talking about van life. So can we please, this is a whole group of people that say no to the world and the way it's set up. They get a van. I couldn't find one of the really amazing. I didn't have time. We should have thought about this yesterday.
Look at a green van life.
So we're just going to show you a little bit of van life, but look it up online. There's some incredible restorations, renovations.
I'm going to say something before we go into these clips that's going to surprise you, and it might shock you.
No, so I doubt it.
Every time I see every time you sent something and I was driving and I was doing this,
I thought I don't want to do that.
No, every clip I looked at, I was jealous of. Every single one in some way.
Yes, exactly, in some way. But then you start thinking, where's my shower? What about if I want to plug a hairdryer in?
I don't think
where's
about that
my iron? So let's look at the van life.
Okay, let's do the van life. So here we go. This is the first of many wholesome clips.
Van life sustainable. 1. Travel slow. Instead of rushing to see as many places as possible, limit your driving to...
Oh, no, don't say we're not going to have...
Hang on. Oh, it's all right. It's just gone a bit... It just got stuck.
Right, let's start
Here
again.
we go.
3 ways to keep van life sustainable. 1. Travel slow. Instead of rushing to see as many places as possible, limit your driving to just 30 minutes a day. This way you can explore a little area of the world so deeply and use way less fuel in the process. 2. Upcycle your van conversion. When there's already so much waste in the world, why buy new things for your conversion? Save a few trees from being chopped down by using free pallet wood. Upcycle second-hand cabinets instead of buying new IKEA ones. We even got all our tools, insulation and our mattress second-hand. And finally, 3. Treat your camping spots right. Would you leave loo roll and rubbish all over your garden? Of course you wouldn't. These serene spots of wilderness are so precious and rare. Always leave them as clean and pristine as you found them. Happy Earth Day.
Oh my God. Right. First of all, no, okay. First of all, how in love do you have to be?
He had quite wobbly legs at the end. He could do that funny little thing. He's got a ponytail. He's got
You
a
can
nubbin.
do that thing.
No,
You
I
do
know.
that
I
thing.
could do that.
He does that leaping up
I think
and
we should
clicking
aim
his
to
heels.
recreate everything. I think they have good sex. I think they
Well, they're
have.
bloody having to have it all the time. I mean, what else could you do?
They've got no digital distraction.
Well, they have because they've got a phone.
That's
They're
true.
filming
They
all the
filmed
time.
it all.
They're
Yeah,
getting
and,
the perfect
then
spot.
presumably they've got an edit where they're editing it all.
So what do we think? Is there anyone here that can see that and think, yep, there's a part of me that wants to live that life? Oh,
The
video
didn't play. What do you mean video didn't play? Oh, God. Should we pop it up again?
Keep van life sustainable. 1. Travel...
It's gone really weird.
Hang on a minute. Did anybody see that? It might have been late messages, Mark, because the other one went out first. So I think it went through.
Is it playing? Didn't see anything. No van life. It was just a still. Oh, for God's sake.
3 ways to keep van life sustainable.
It did
1. Travel slow. Instead of rushing to see as many
I would
places
just
as
say, I think it was
possible,
the old one.
limit your driving to just 30 minutes a day. This way you can explore a little area of the world so deeply and use way less fuel in the process. 2. Upcycle your van conversion. When there's already so much waste in the world, why buy new things?
Okay, well, this was the most delightful little van. So beautiful, so cute, all made out of wood inside. A beautiful young couple living a sustainable life. Tiny little van running along the road, skipping and clicking their heels. Obviously, that is very, very extreme, wholesome life. But it is quite a movement. There are
van life sustainable.
All over the world.
1. Travel slow. Instead of rushing to see as many places as possible, limit your driving.
You're joking.
Everything has gone funny. Oh dear, it keeps
You've
showing.
spent ages doing all those films.
Absolutely ages doing that. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Sorry, one sec.
They're too many.
Oh, I don't know. So boring.
All right.
So annoying. Okay.
So that's the van life, and that is really extreme. Personally, no, I couldn't do that. I would be too scared. That's too wholesome. I don't want to be in the middle of nowhere, even though we live in South London.
Just 30 minutes a day. This way you can explore a little.
That life seems too scary to me.
Yeah.
Out on the road and just. And
let's try it like this. Let's try it in a different
area of the world so deeply and use way less fuel in the process. 2. Upcycle your van conversion. When there's already so much waste in the world, why buy new things for your conversion? Save a few trees from being chopped down by using free pallet wood. Upcycle second-hand cabinets instead of buying new IKEA ones. We even got all our tools, insulation and our mattress second-hand. And finally, 3. Treat your camping spots right. Would you leave loo roll and rubbish all over your garden? Of course you wouldn't.
Look at that bed.
These
That is a
spots of
love
wilderness
buggy.
are so precious and rare. Always leave them as clean and pristine as you found them. Happy Earth Day.
Look at them. Look at them.
My God, who brought those two up? Sometimes I wish we'd done everything differently.
Yeah, but maybe they probably weren't brought up in a van. Most people who do these kind of
No, I don't
lifestyles-
think they were brought up in a van.
Maybe
I'm not
brought
talking
them
about
up.
that. I'm talking about how sustainable they are in their own selves.
But a lot of people
not
have
to want
no, I agree.
outdoor, not to need cinemas and TVs and social media, and to have gone in a completely different direction. Mind you, they probably do pull in somewhere and have a burger and a movie.
And they must do stuff other than just look at flowers.
Yeah, they do.
To
Of
have a
course they do.
conversation.
We're getting the Instagram versus reality.
Exactly. Let's catch up with them in 5 years, says Kim Carroll.
So-
See if he's still skipping. But where is the flushing loo, says Rachel Pickard. Lot of people are, look, if
Well,
I'm
Jackie Valino, exactly. We don't need so many material things.
No,
and I
you're
suppose
right.
when we think about this van life, which is extreme, what are we really saying that's more reasonable? We're saying I sometimes feel like I'm overtaken by stuff and by things, and we are not materialistic people. You know, we don't like designer shit. We're not bothered. We're not, you know, if I
we
need
like
to,
experiential stuff, you know.
if I
get a
need
nice
clothes, I'm
holiday,
going to get them online. I'm not going.
yeah.
It's not like we're not like massive consumers, and yet we consume massive amounts of what this world offers. And
Reese Roberts says, but just as much as you need nature, you need city dwellers. One hand complements the other. Being a Londoner, I've always appreciated how street smart it made me, and vigilant. You have to see danger.
well, you see, I think that's sad.
Yeah, but
Why do we have to be vigilant and know how to spot danger?
One of the things Nadia
That's
sent
what
me.
I hate the most, Reese.
You sent me a clip earlier today,
what I
and I'm
thought.
trying to work out: is it the hard to hear facts one? I'm hesitant now to play anything in case it goes wrong, but I will. I just want to say, the ideas can be good and the thought behind them can be great, but sometimes, you know, like you often hear, let's do the caveman diet or something like that.
Yeah.
We've moved on from
We're not
cavemen.
cavemen
And also
anymore.
cavemen lived for 18, 24 years max. Life expectancy has changed. We sustain ourselves in a different way. And it's not about saying I'm anti being able to kind of take the slow life and do the slow stuff and everything. But I do think we've kind of slightly demonized everything else, potentially outside the wholesome idea. For me, it's wholesome to see art. But there's an art world, which is
yeah,
horrible.
everybody's wholesome is so different. Like, I would love to have chickens and bees. We talk about this all the time, Karima. It's like, and then I go, oh, chickens though, they get foot rot, and if you've got fox, and we talk ourselves out of everything. Can we just press that one?
Which one?
That's quite interesting.
Give us a clue.
Vicky, I thought I was on it. I thought that saved it. Was it Vicky saying they got rid of so much stuff in the summer? Was that it? No, that's it.
Hi, Vicky.
Just couldn't see what it said. No van, but I gave up almost everything last summer and now have very little of what I had. I realized it wasn't making me happy. Yeah. Downsizing.
Say if it's for you, the van life. The van is the van life for you.
Downsizing of it, isn't it? Because you move into a van.
Yes.
And you've got to really look, like I think I've told you before, some friends of ours we had years ago who both moved into a narrow boat 20 years ago.
Exactly what I was going to hit a play
and
on.
Everybody, and they're Geminis, and they sleep like this in this tiny bit, and everyone was like, well, that won't last long. Well, 20 years later, they live that life, and don't they just beam?
Yeah, and whoever gave the smart ass comment, let's see them in 5 years, they might be even happier and skipping even
the
more.
people we know, we can't make ourselves feel better with that.
Yeah, so let's just see if this lands. I'm going to show you a canal boat.
Look around our canal boat home. My name's Andy, and I live on these 2 boats with my 3 children.
You see this?
When I first moved onto this boat, I was a single man with my children just visiting at the weekend. Its reverse layout and big double bedroom was perfect for a single man. 7 months ago, tragically, my children lost their mum, and the boys came to live with me full time. This meant converting the space to allow for 2 single beds, and also using the main living area as my sleeping space. Alongside the main boat, we've also purchased a 21-foot river cruiser, which is my 14-year-old son's bedroom. While I'd love to say it's always the perfect home, living in a small space with 3 children comes with its obvious challenges. Even on a boat, the children manage to make the usual mess, and as you would expect, cause utter chaos. But waking up each day with such beautiful views of nature helps me provide the boys with a life full of fun and adventure. And a home that's warm, safe and secure, and filled with love. So follow my family as we navigate this new way of life together.
I only discovered this guy yesterday. I started following him. I see I've just had a message actually from him.
Oh, what did he say?
But I don't know.
You see,
but
someone just said MeTube, you said you looked into this and there's a lot of hassle, mooring rights and water. Yeah, I mean, what one always sees on social media, and this is where I think social media can be a force for good, but also a real force for giving us a stick to beat ourselves with. It gives us a level, even in the imperfections. And we can reach to the likes of Meghan Markle and Gwyneth Paltrow right at the high end. But even at the low end, there's quite an intimidating aspect to a lot of these clips where you look at it and you think, well, fucking hell. First of all, I've got to be able to grow a tomato in order to do the bruschetta and walk out of my greenhouse.
Well, we'll wait for that.
No, but I'm using it as a kind of example. So I think, yes, there's much more kind of aggro to some of these lifestyles than we see on social media.
This chap, follow him, guys. Andy, 4 boys on a boat. I just discovered him yesterday. Actually, it was another guy who introduced him who lives on a boat, and the other guy as well is incredibly honest. You know, a lot of it is very difficult. There is no life where there is no difficulty. But I was so moved by that. Imagine that you've been living as a single man in that boat. Those boys were growing up, I think, in a 5-bedroom house, and then they've moved to this boat. Now, there will be so much that is missed, but there will be so much that is gained. And I think that's the important thing when we're thinking about a more wholesome life. That's what we have to, it's about balance. Right at the beginning, who was it that said balance? I think so many of our lives are out of balance.
Well, they are, but also I do think we also have to take a reality check. For the vast majority of people getting on with really difficult lives, difficult jobs, you know, we've all, you know, everyone has worked hard, done their bit, you know, striven. Everyone's lives end up playing out in different ways at different points in their lives. So no one should be judging anyone. But I would say this, I do find it sticks in the craw a little bit when you get people often off the telly, but not just off the telly, who want that life-work balance and have the capacity to achieve that by buying another house. That is beyond the bounds.
But that's not wholesome.
No, it's not wholesome. But I think sometimes that type of person or the type of finance required for that type of life is what informs some of them. I'm not suggesting for a minute it's this one, but it's what allows. We showed a clip the other day of something, and Erin Bullimore made a really good point.
That's why people like
she
this
said,
are great.
Erin Bullimore said something along these lines. She said, but what privilege have they had to have beforehand in order to be able to make the choice to be able to do that? And I understand what you mean. It's like, this doesn't just land in your lap. The system disallows you. And
well, that's why I love people like this chap.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
You know, he is grafting away for that. Most of what we want is about graft, isn't it? And for sure. And, you know, when you see the Gwyneth Paltrow's and this living this, you know, going out into their beautiful meadow and bringing in their flowers and their beekeeper is bringing them their honey, that kind of gives many an idea that this is an impossible thing. But actually, and maybe we're getting to the root of what wholesome is. Wholesome for me actually is about less. You know, when I think my dad was a Bedouin, you know, comes from Bedouin roots, and whatever you couldn't put into a bag, you did not need. I think that's fundamentally who I am.
Your dad.
I am that. In my genetics.
Yeah,
that's me. Wholesome is less.
That's a really good point. I think that's really, really profound what you've said. And I also think that when I think of your dad, and like when we have gone abroad, I look at things like, it sounds weird, dates, figs, the time he takes with things, the relish and enjoyment he has around them. It's not even that he's kind of enjoying the consumption of them. He's enjoying the bounty. And I don't want to sound really wanky here, because this is titled, "Is a Wholesome Life an Impossible Dream for Total Wankers? Or Should We All Dream?" I do think that some people have the ability to authentically appreciate what I think of Rachel, our friend Rachel. There's an authenticity to their connection with what they're grateful for. And it's not about wealth, and it's not about even having worked hard to build wealth. It's about less. It's about seeing in the smaller things the greatness of life. Now,
and that's in everything, in relationships, like, you know, how long is your list of friends? Well, how small is your list of friends? How few people do you have that want to nurture you and you nurture them back? You know, I think, like food, if you think about food, the best food is the food where it's just a few simple ingredients brought together beautifully, wholesome, good food. It's
stripping out what isn't important.
Exactly. There we go. We've discovered what wholesome is.
Zoe, I've realized over the years I need so little to feel wholesome.
Simplicity. Exactly. And when Mark talks about my dad taking time over a date and a glass of tea, it's because genetically over thousands of years, you know, that coming through and living in the desert, you know, genetically, everything is a gift that you find in the desert, whether that's water, the dates, or whatever. And it comes from that. We have gone so fast in the West, the globalization. There's so much to consume and to buy and to desire and to want and to feel left out of, that we forget that the moments are all around us, aren't they?
I was at my most wholesome. I'm not talking about the sort of, you know, the privilege of being able to go into rehab. I'm talking about I was at my most wholesome when all of those extras were removed. All my life, and I'm not exaggerating, and this isn't retrofitting the narrative at all. We all do that as humans. It's not crime, but this really isn't retrofitting. From as young an age as I can remember, I've always been drawn to the idea of, call it, and it's going to sound weird, when I read The Hobbit and when I read Lord of the Rings, I wanted to just adventure and travel and walk and move. And it wasn't the moving so much, because anyone who knows The Hobbit, bear with me for a second, hobbits are really into their homeliness. They're very domesticated. They're reluctant travelers. And I really related to this because I loved the comfort of safety at my nan's, but I also wanted to be out and about and doing stuff with not very much. And I became obsessed in these stories with, sounds weird, with what they had in their backpacks. And I was obsessed by their self-sufficiency and when they set up camp. And so for me, I've always been drawn to things like I toyed with going into retreat. It was tied in with my kind of mental health and my addiction. A friend of mine went into retreat for 2 years.
But that's important because maybe some of that mental health problem was the enormous amount of we're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You know? So to say, oh, I was tied up with my mental health, though like that doesn't mean anything. It means something. Yeah. The world we're living in is making us sick.
Halfling Owl with Mark Gibbon, which is another name for hobbits. No, it's absolutely it. And what was so clever about The Hobbit and the idea, forget all the fantasy, all the dragons, all that bollocks. It was the domesticity of the Hobbit. They loved home.
Maddie's like,
They
Maddie's
wanted
got that
home,
from you.
but they also love that mini home that you can take with you. And so throughout, if you read Lord of the Rings or anything like that, throughout the books, forget the films, you've got so much stuff about their favorite foods, their favorite things to eat, what the habits, what the rituals, all that kind of stuff. And for me, that's wholesome. For me, it's not about, you know, gluttony. And also it's about pausing. It's about time. It's about stopping. I want to play this one now because this really has some kind of interesting thoughts. Again, I hope this plays easily.
I'm going to say anyways, the pharmaceutical companies are ensuring that you never get well. The banks are ensuring that you never get out of debt. The media is ensuring that you never know the truth. And the government, they're ensuring that they can all do that legally.
That's so good, isn't it?
I love that. Let's just play that once more. That's
to hear facts that I'm going to say anyways. The pharmaceutical companies are ensuring that you never get well. The banks are ensuring that you never get out of debt. The media is ensuring that you never know the truth. And the government, they're ensuring that they can all do that legally.
What I love about that, and did you know, I mean, when you look into the word government, the word government, govern is to control, and meant in government, the word is from mentality. It is the word government is controlling the mentality of people. They are controlling our ments. And so this absolute myth of freedom is a joke.
We love this when people recommend books. Lexel, thank you. Gabor Mate, who we all love here. The Myth of Normal has a lot to say about this. It's next on my list. I have 2 Gabor Mate books, and that would be a wholesome thing for me, is to sit down and read a book. Mark bought me a book yesterday that I wanted on Trump. I keep just moving it around the house. Yesterday, I was going to sit down and read it, and then the time had gone.
That's wholesome.
Like within my world today, what would be wholesome would be to sit in the garden for a bit, maybe read a book over there on my lovely sofa with my lovely dogs. Those are my wholesome. I'm looking for wholesome moments that I don't allow myself to do. But every word of what that woman said, every word is the root of so much misery.
It is true. It's not, and also it's not conspiracy theory shit. It's nothing else. And it's not the other thing that people who are trapped into a very old-fashioned way of thinking will have you think is you're trying to cheat the system or side. Yeah. When the system is as fucked as it is, I want to not be part of that system. It's a horrible system.
That's why more and more people are dreaming of going off grid and doing all of this.
This is a good counterpoint, though. Jean Ridgewell, my husband and I are both retired and moved to the countryside, but have now moved back to town, has found country life lonely. Great if you involve yourself with village life, but it wasn't for me.
This is what we always say.
This is your problem.
I couldn't go and live in a. I look at the country life and I go, oh, that's lovely, but I wouldn't be able to bear that silence. I wouldn't be able to bear, because what if you make friends with someone and then you don't like them, and then you're lumbered?
Yeah.
I mean, people we know that moved to the country had exactly the same experience. I don't want that, but I want more of that. And it's like, we've got a garden. Why can't we make that in our garden? But it's about being so strict with yourself. But the problem is we also love our work, and we work from home. Okay. So there's always work to do. We work all weekend. We work 7 days a week, but we enjoy it.
And there is a reward in that. I just want to share this. This almost made me pause and not cry, but gasp. Erin, Faramir, a warrior in Tolkien, sums up this sentiment when he says to one of the hobbits, the Shire, which is where they live, must truly be a great realm, Master Gamgee, where gardeners are held in high honor. Thank you for that quote.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Because the feeling, what's got lost in the whole Tolkien Lord of the Rings thing was it came out, the reason it was picked up by hippies, Lord of the Rings, was because it was speaking to a different type of life. It was it was fantastic.
Hippies have always been maligned because they're like in every society, there were people that abused the hippie thing. Do you know what I mean? Like everywhere, there's pervs, there's addicts. But actually, I am deep in my soul. I'm a hippie. I am a hippie.
Yeah.
When I make bread, I want to make 500 loaves.
I'm a reluctant hippie. My problem is
when I make a salad, I want everyone to have a salad, and I want music, and I want everyone in flowing robes.
And my problem with gardening is I want it to be highly productive. I'd like to feed an entire community. I mean,
it's a great line actually. What kind of hippie would you be?
Yeah.
What hippie would you be?
I want rows and rows of veg and fruit, not to feed people, for you to cook with. I want to supply.
I want to be pregnant. want to be
ingredients.
baking bread.
I want to make you pregnant. This is so
Free love, man.
wholesome. Wow.
Free love,
Can
free
I keep
love.
making you pregnant?
Free
Sorry,
love, as
sorry,
long as it's not in the van.
Okay,
Right,
I
let's
want to share this
something
clip about schools. This is a great clip.
Poor, just you suck at being poor. If you want nice shit, you're just gonna have to take some old shit and make it nice shit.
Hang on, let me just.
This is
pause
the first
that.
sentence.
Okay, you ready?
Your problem's not that you're poor, it's just you suck at being poor. If you want nice shit, you're just gonna have to take some old shit and make it nice shit. Being completely useless is a luxury of the rich. And you're not rich, you're poor. If you want to be poor and just have old garbage, then fine, you're good to go. But if you're gonna sit around and cry about how you have nothing nice, but then you're doing nothing to have anything nice, that's your own fault. If you're able-bodied and broke, that's nothing but opportunity. And if you're like, I don't know how to fix stuff. Yeah, no one does, until they do. You ever met a baby who knew how to do flat roofing? You're gonna suck at it at first. But you're poor. If you want it to be nice, you're gonna have to just keep doing it until it's nice. I know people in their 40s and don't even know how their toilet works. You sit on it every day. Just sit on it backwards once and look at the innards. There's tons of old trash everywhere. Just take it home. Polish it up. Now you have nice stuff. You go to a job and you sell a dude your time for an hourly wage. Why not sell yourself some time?
That's a good
And in
one.
exchange for your time, now you have nice shit. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm rooting for you. So get out there, get some old shit, make it nice shit. You might fail, then try again. Doesn't matter.
I
love the
him.
simplicity of that. In a
He made me
weird,
feel
in a
so
weird way.
ashamed. I am going to put up some bookshelves.
But no, but in a weird way, what was so wonderful, albeit he's possibly another lick in places, was just doing it as there was great joy in turning around to each other, albeit that it was frustrating.
And every time somebody comes in the house, they say, so who did it? Even our dad went, we did.
We
it's
did
a bit shit, but we love it.
But I love what he says there about if you're going out and charging someone else for your time, charge yourself for your time. I mean, you've said this to me for years.
But I mean, it's like, we need to make that light shorter upstairs. We need to fix that plug. And we need to put the water filter under the sink. Somebody could come in and rip us for 150 quid
I was thinking about that the other day, just to put to get the frame in for your plug. You buy the frame, you find out how to fit it in.
Yeah.
The great thing is, though, you need internet, because then you go to YouTube to find out how to do it.
But I think what's important, Mark, in what he's saying there, and I think sometimes you are guilty of this. I'm guilty of being lazy and pathetic. That's my guilt, and I hate. That's why I keep saying to girls, "Let's do this." I want to get my own drill. I want to get. Why am I always waiting? It's so unfeminist. Just waiting for
I actually knocked
daddy.
on the wall.
I'll get daddy to do it when he can't
just
bloody
work it
do
out.
anything with DIY. But it's
Don't
about
DIY shame
right.
me.
Shush. Wait for the video at the end of this show. But
Christopher
what I
Cumber's
liked-
just gifted 50 gifts. Chris,
Oh, Christopher, you're so
Christopher.
sweet.
did
That's
he
so
give me a great
sweet.
big sloppy
Are you
kiss?
enjoying the show, Christopher?
Yeah.
But no, let me just finish on this, because
Yeah,
what
all
I think he's talking about there is have pride in that.
Yes.
Whether you are a CEO of a multi-million company, whether you're out of work, whether you're, you think you haven't got time for yourself,
Thanks, mate.
take pride in doing that. Like when people say menial job, not menial jobs, what's it called? When a mechanic and what do they call those?
That's the term, menial job.
It's like, well, yeah, but you big CEO with your multi-millions, could you change the tire on your car? No, you couldn't. If it all goes tits up in the world, are you going to be able to look after yourself? No, you're not. And so I think it's about taking real pride. And actually, when Lisa was here the other week, she's going, just look up on YouTube and how to do it. Take 5 minutes.
Well, she's incredibly self-sufficient and
No,
industrial.
but all she does is look it up on YouTube.
But look, let me say, okay, so on the DIY front, yes, we're kind of limited. I love Antonio Schwartz's line. Yes, I painted my living room myself. It's not the best, but I did it and felt proud.
Yeah.
For a brief second, I wanted to do more DIY, and then that moment passed.
But if we hang on to what he's saying there, that is, I think, again, that's a beautiful part of wholesome. We tend to look down our nose at jobs. We've got something better we can do. That's going to take our time.
Yeah.
That is time for you. It's nurturing for you.
But one of the things,
I want a door.
But hang on. But for example,
I want a door.
For example, you've become clearly more and more expert and gifted at growing houseplants. I mean, the reason I appreciate that is when I remember my mum said something that was very moving for me, actually, in the last season of Green Figured Hell. She turned around and said, Mark, you have the natural gift of knowing how to garden and get and she said, you might not feel you know it. She said, but you have an instinct, a bit like with you, And
it's going back to our roots as
but that's
humans.
taken 4 to 5 years of looking at an area and thinking, oh, maybe we need to go with that. And so it does take time. I think we are in a culture where we think unless it all works. I mean, if you're
So
doing
maybe that's another point of what wholesome is. Going back to those natural small things. We're not going to get in a fucking van. We're not going to buy a farm. But it's a good point that Mark brings up. My plants now are so important to me. I actually get fearful now. Like I've always said,
beautiful way.
If there was a fire, there's no objects that I would run out of here with. But my plants, I actually do get scared.
It's transformed the house, and it was your vision. And I see you doing it when you're going around doing it. It really makes me feel great. I now understand what you get when you see me dealing with the garden, because I know it's bringing you satisfaction. There's panic in there. You just literally touched the most anxious part of my body. It's forever going fast.
You know when I say to you, please go in the garden for half an hour? That's literally because I know that's a medicine. And it's like, what did I say last 2 weekends ago, right, guys? It was a sunny day. I didn't put my headphones, I didn't do anything, just repotting my plants. And I said, that's the best weekend I've had in years. And all I was doing was repotting my plants. Now, yours might be anything else, but it's not denying the simplicity of things that give us joy.
Christopher says, if there's a DIY Olympics, I reckon you both should so good. We should try it out.
Christopher, wait till the end and you see this video, honestly.
I feel like
regulars will love
Zoe
it.
feels like this with cooking.
Yes.
May Edmondson, I popped your comment up earlier. Sometimes with ADHD and chronic illness, paying for someone to clean or do DIY helps to focus your energy on other things.
But okay, so those aren't your things, May. So what's your thing as an ADHD person? There is something that you will absolutely love to focus and be passionate about. So for you, the right kind of wholesome is to get somebody else to do those things and to do the things like Zoe's saying there. What have we spoken about? The garden, the plants, cooking.
Nora Doyle's cleaned her chimney.
Oh my God, you're a full power woman. I
love that.
You know, these things that keep us safe and fed and loved are wholesome things.
Sorry, those are the girls.
Hiya,
Farida R, I am about to embark on a journey of plant and herbal medicine. I definitely do not have green fingers, but I am intrigued by the science and healing element
I sent
of
Mark.
plants.
Oh, I sent Mark a video today of that. Hi, Deanie. What? Say hello to the folks. Hello, folks. This is what happens. My sister lives next door, if anyone is new here. And she just comes in and steals my bacon.
Oh, you're taking that?
We're baking cakes this afternoon for Mother's Day. We're going to give you some Mother's Day tips.
Talking of Mother's Day, here's Natasha Tiramos. I didn't stay in one place long enough growing up to feel like I had a home. So now anything to do with homemaking makes me feel so wholesome.
We're talking about, we've done the whole, you'd love this coffee moaning, Dean. We've done the whole coffee moaning on wholesome and what it means to us.
Oh, so
What does wholesome mean to you? If I say wholesome,
I've put in the title just to give you my contest. Is a wholesome life an impossible dream for total wankers?
Or should
we all dream?
Wankers,
no, I don't.
Yes. It's an impossible dream for total wankers.
No.
Realistic to be wholesome.
Yes. So we've done van life, we've done buying a farm, but like within your life, what like I was saying, my plants, I love looking after my plants, I love cooking, I feel wholesome when I do it.
Yeah. So
what leaves you feeling?
Cooking. Definitely.
Yeah.
And going to farmers market, choosing your
tap dancing.
And you grow vegetables.
And I grow vegetables, and I'm just about to do some flower arrangements in some jam jars. Just
blimey.
I love the way you that's wholesome.
So wholesome.
And it's wholesome that you live next door to your sister.
I would never call you a wanker, Dina.
It's wholesome that you live next.
There we are.
Fake. Give us a fake wholesome.
Pretend wholesome.
Come on.
Jemima and Tarquin.
Jemima and Tarquin having coffee in the food market. I don't know.
Yes.
We're having a sustainable coffee. Yeah. We're having a sustainable coffee that's been hand ground by a sustainable person.
But then you discover they own the sustainable company that owns a part of Africa that does it. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit all
right, biatch. See you later.
Bye. I could never be a proper minimalist, says May Edmondson, and let go of my trinkets.
But that's your wholesome. It's like everything else in life, isn't it? It's what the individual has to be allowed to
absolutely
for it to. Okay, shall we have a look at another couple of
I'm going to show you. This is real food. I've put my music on. It's just graphic, so you're going to have to look.
Is this the guy with the tomato?
No, this is the woman. I'm saving the guy with the tomatoes.
I watched this woman. She is fantastic.
This is about what real food is, what real food looks like.
Beautiful apples.
bit.
She is called home. So everything that she starts every video, most videos with, I'm a conspiracy theorist. And then she makes you see how insane the world that we live in, and she's called a conspiracy theorist, and she's so damn wholesome looking. I mean, she even washes her rugs with snow. She's a bit far out.
I do think there are still distinctions between genuine conspiracy theorists, i.e. the world is flat, versus people who are challenging the norm.
Yeah, don't like being told how to live.
For example, I don't like calling someone a conspiracy theorist because they question the validity, efficacy, or truth around vaccines and big pharma. That's not a conspiracy theorist. That's someone asking probing questions. So I do think there are people who are batshit crazily going down a hole.
If you went into a club and somebody offered you a pill,
yes,
you would want to know what's in that pill.
I never did.
What long-term effects it's going to have, what side effects it could have. You're going to question it.
I didn't.
Right? But when you're told, well, this is just science, and so it's all right with no questions, when we've seen through the ages how that's gone wrong sometimes, it's okay to question it, not to go spreading ideas worldwide. That is wrong. But for your individual, you are allowed to question it.
To be honest with you, Suvi, who was my drug dealer at college, he was very reliable.
I don't think you should have said his name.
And I knew it was a nickname. We all knew what he was giving us far more than we knew what we were getting from the doctors sometimes. Don't take drugs.
He's been 20 years sober. Don't take drugs.
Here's a pair of tomatoes, and I'm now going to introduce you to Tarquin. Okay?
I just had to say before this, Mark did not grow those tomatoes, whereas Tarquin did.
Oh, all right.
Grow all these juicy, delicious tomatoes and not make a bruschetta.
Hang on. Did he just say that?
I can't grow all these juicy tomatoes and not make a bruschetta.
I have to do this. I'm going to make bruschetta. Let's add it back.
Can't grow all these juicy, delicious tomatoes and not make a bruschetta.
No. Oh, he carries them in his t-shirt.
Yeah, and look, his knife, very, very expensive knife.
Heirloom tomatoes.
I love heirloom tomatoes.
I don't, they're wankers.
Oh, look at that bowl. Everything. Oh,
he's going to smash them.
Smashing it with his own hand. Into the bowl.
Where's he got his virgin olive oil from?
The virgin.
We're watching a man make salty tomatoes.
Like the perfect tomato salad outside in the open.
And of course, basil.
What's his name? He's got a good beard.
He does beautiful things. He makes his own hair gel.
Oh, he doesn't.
Yeah, let me get his name.
I don't want to see his hair.
No, but I do. I'm going to make it.
Hang on. This is that bread. Do you think he's made the bread?
I'm going to make that. Yeah, of course he's
We're just watching him really wholesomely make bruschetta. Right, it does look nice.
He's called Gaz Oakley.
Does look nice, Gaz.
He's very good. He's got 1.6 million followers.
Well, he's doing something right.
Look.
Hang on. Let's finish it. Let's see him. Oh, you're listening to him eat now. Oh, Gaz.
Unreal.
Gaz, invite me around for a bruschetta.
All that is wandering
I'll
off.
come and help you pick your tomatoes.
I bet you would, you dirty cow. He looks like Joe Wicks's long lost brother.
Just have a little look at this.
Dried herbs. However,
he is making his own hair gel.
That 3-ingredient natural hair gel. I told you you could make these incredible cheese crackers with the leftover seeds.
Oh, hang on.
Well,
We've gone on to cheese crackers. Anyway, he makes his own hair gel. He says he uses no product and makes all his own hair products.
Let's just see that opening one.
Can't grow all these juicy, delicious tomatoes and not make a bruschetta.
Of course I fucking
can't.
Oh, juicy tomatoes got to make a bruschetta.
Oh,
well, no, good for him.
Hey, his page is beautiful.
I'm
actually.
entirely jealous. Entirely jealous.
Of course you are, because you know I'd swoon at your feet if you were bringing me in tomatoes like that.
Is that all it would take?
Especially if you'd set me up a nice little area outside to make my perfect tomato salad.
Is that all it would take?
No, it's one of the things it would take.
Okay, here's another Tarquin.
In the life with Uniqlo.
You know how much I love Julius.
Such a good start to the day. Now he's got to feed the mums. And now the sheep
These are all my pregnant ewes who are going to give birth in about 5 weeks, so I've got to keep them well fed ahead of that. This huge tree came down in one of these winter storms we've had, so we're just cutting it up, turning it into firewood, cleaning up the head because it crushed it.
As well. Put this in the greenhouse.
It's damn cold. Time for some lunch.
Oh, look at that outside. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, he's making
DP.
Oh, he's going to smoke something.
Something over the top.
Oh,
This guy is incredibly tough.
he's so lovely.
Doesn't smash the table like the other stuff, does he? Look what soft it is. Oh, look, it's close. Margaret O'Brien's had enough. I think it's your husband's birthday. Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday.
Terry. I think it's Terry. Okay, I've had enough of this.
Oh, shut up.
It's boring.
It's not boring.
It's annoying me.
I love Julia.
I know you do.
I don't like that stew,
Oh,
though.
suddenly put cheese up there.
That's the only thing I've ever seen him cook.
Oh my God, look at the Irish Wolf
Snuggling up his dog.
2 dogs. But they're multiplying. I'm not interested in this dish at all.
No, it's not my sort of thing.
I don't want to go into the woods and eat that.
Seriously good soup, just what you need.
No.
Have a look at him in his greenhouse, though. He's lovely in his greenhouse.
Unfollowed him ages ago, says Zoe.
Why? Why, Zoe? I love him.
He's fucking annoying.
He's not
No, he
annoying.
is.
He's a lovely
He's
man.
so competent. He makes me feel so insufficient.
Well, why don't you just up your game?
I want to say to him, well, he probably even edited that too. I feel like saying edit a good reel, but
Well, I'll tell you what, if I cook it like that and you edit it so it looks as nice as that, then that's
Hang
your
on,
skills. You're showing me
we've
your
got the
skills.
most beautiful granola that we've shot.
Yeah, well,
Which you
I need
just
more than
refuse
that.
to edit. Nah, no time for that, says Zoe. He's not Mark, says Alison Barber. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Julie. Happy
shall we-
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Julie. Happy birthday to you.
I get the jealousy, Mark. I can identify with the look Nadia had watching it.
Right, listen, we have been on here for ages.
Okay, well, shall we just quickly play in
So
the...
I think a summation here is, I think is really nice sometimes to just step out of the news and just do an old-fashioned coffee moaning where we just chat.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that with you guys and all your contributions.
I just can't not cook these
But-
tomatoes and make some bruschetta.
But we're coming to the end now, but we do want to do 2 things that we said we would do, which is 1, play this clip, which I think is very funny, and 2, have a quick chat about Married at First Sight. So if people don't want to stay for those 2 things, then we get it, because it might be a bit...
You want to crash in with this clip?
So just to give a bit of context, Mark and I tried desperately to be DIY folks. Anyone who watches our vlog regularly will see so many similarities between these 2 people and Mark and I. So hit play.
Here we go.
The best word that describes how I feel.
What are you going to do today, Dad?
Oh, he's got 40 million fucking projects.
I'm going to put together a shelving unit for a utility closet.
Are you looking forward to that?
Because my partner
No, but
doesn't want to help
see
me.
that.
Here, you can take that to the front door. No. What did I say 10 times?
I don't.
We're building it first.
Yes, but
Then, now pull it. Once we finish building it, then we'll put what we want on it.
You have a tempting
And then we'll get rid of it, so we're not doing it twice.
This is a gross place. Really nothing that needs to be shared with the world.
bad.
I just got to make sure of one thing here. Okay. There.
Ouch.
There you go. That's my fault, right?
Yes.
Of course.
This is Aggie.
More. Let it go, period.
I'm letting it go without trying to get my hand caught. No, it's totally stuck. One, if we have one deeper one, and then a couple. Can I say something? It makes much more sense to clear everything out and see what we have.
And here's a mat for bad weather. This is something to go through. These are the things for the stove. Water filter tubes. I'm not kidding. When this is all put to, oh my God, this is about as happy as I ever could get.
Okay.
Oh wow. Now this is really heavy. I know, but you can't get those. You can't get those
We
knobs
have
anymore.
those things.
For snow and ice.
Isn't it Jack's favorite thing?
It's his most favorite
I
thing.
know. So we compromised.
I thought I recognized him, Reed.
I didn't count on the door.
So we just bend it. So,
Oh my goodness.
up there.
But
No, not at all. I did not mean that at all. I meant if you meant to get to the boiler, you
Oh,
could
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
squeeze
You
by
can
that.
resist it. Good. And the one on the right. I got it there and then I go one down, right?
His voice.
Shit, I don't remember how I did it.
Right.
But here's the problem.
You could slide on it.
Are you going to criticize me for fixing the Swifter box?
All right, honey, let me just ask you, since we only need that once in a while, shouldn't that be on a top shelf?
Yeah, I agree. And the Swifter there?
Swifter on the door.
Okay, great.
Did this bring you closer together?
Yeah.
Is this your happy place, Dad?
This is my happy place.
It is.
This is my happy place.
It is not mine, but that's
So
okay.
Dad's going in his happy
Going in my
place.
happy
Okay,
place.
bye, honey. Have
Bye.
a good afternoon.
Oh my God!
I've
I
never seen
thought I
him before.
recognized him from Homeland. You're right. Was he? He wasn't also in The Walking Dead.
Oh, was he
he?
an actor?
He's an actor. I think he's an actor. Is that right? Oh my God! That's our YouTube channel in another. Well, for you, 5 years.
Oh my
No, I'm joking.
God.
10 years, 15 years. That's if you stay
Lizzie,
with
Nadia,
us.
that's so, isn't it so me? Can I just say something? Hang on a minute. Like, don't show anybody this. I mean, it's like
Jackie Villino, the likeness is uncanny.
it's
Spinner
weird.
Zen 77. Thank you. Mark
And
makes
I think-
everything fun though.
And I think my hair will probably be like that.
Yeah, and I think I'll wear a beanie like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's literally us.
And it's
in
as
30
you
years.
give lines of
10
advice.
years,
By then, by that age, I'll have just reluctantly agreed with everything you say.
But Mark, a bit, but she goes, I'm trying to save my fingers, like my thumb. And then when he's put it in and it's too high.
But I'm telling you now, if you want to stay with
Oh
us on
my
this journey
God.
of this YouTube channel, you just got a vision of where we will be in 10 years' time.
Yep. And so hit the subscribe button.
In case you want to be with us.
Right, now we are going to move on to Married at First Sight, last
Right.
night's episode. So it's a spoiler, and if you didn't watch Married at First Sight, you probably won't like it. But oh
Fucking
my
hell.
God, what an episode.
Well, what a series.
We were like, we watched it with the girls, and we were like, oh my God. Oh, it was so fantastic. The crazy girl and her crazy husband,
What's her name?
I think, are two of the greatest all-time reality
What's
show
happening
couples.
with her? Why does she suddenly cry
And
then
I
suddenly go
I
fine?
tell you why I think they're amazing. And I said this last night to the girls, and Maddie was like, yeah, you're right. And they are, and the experts keep saying it, you are the most perfectly matched. We've never had two people that have matched so well, except they don't get on at all. And it's because they are so alike. So she will pick a really like outrageous fight. He just comes back straight away, doesn't he? And usually, always, actually, in Married at First Sight, there's always one person that you're thinking, oh, just tell them, or just, but they just totally equal, aren't they?
Dawn Decker says autistic traits, perhaps neurodiverse. in
Well,
some
I
sense.
don't know what it is,
I don't know
but
what it
it's
is.
just incredible. We've
What
gone.
a-
I actually did say I am unable to diagnose.
Can I
because
just
I
ask-
always diagnose.
Can I
with
just
mum.
ask a quick question though? Is the idea of being able to say that someone has crazy eyes? Seems to have caused such upset. And the weird detail that I'm saying about this series is those people who have been described as having crazy eyes. I might be cancelled for this. They do seem to have crazy eyes.
I mean, the thing is, she says it herself.
Yeah, but then
and
there's
she
the-
uses them. She goes, she does it on purpose to shut people up, to try and control people. She will use those eyes. And the guy that I like the most, can't ever remember his
Jeff.
name, when he said to her
I will
yesterday,
never
why
forget
are
his
you
name.
looking at my wife like that? Because it was so like intimate. She was really trying to intimidate her.
But what about the woman who's with Billy? She in one of the earlier shows, she touched Billy's willy, but she's with Billy. She's gone completely cold as ice. She's the one that's also been described as potentially being seen at the end of a bed with a knife in her hands. She's gone really she's gone on a villain arc.
She's very strange, but I think there's a really sad story behind
Yeah.
that, because I remember in the first episode, her and her sister said they had a truly terrible father. And then she was saying how she hadn't shared with him what had happened in her life because she was frightened it would put her off. So I think, we don't know, I think there's something very dark that's happened with her dad. And maybe that's why she acts out in the way that she does. So her, I'm sort of parking because I think there might be all sorts of things going on. But these two just are the most thick-skinned people. They sat at that table yesterday, didn't they, at the wedding, and just aired their dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Went on and on and on about their argument and what was going on with them and what wasn't. Can you imagine that if you were with a couple that were like having their full-on
No, but
divorce?
I had tickets to the ringside. They're all loving it. Everyone else is absolutely loving the drama. Can I just pause and say the most scariest ever woman I think I've ever come across is, what's the name of the older woman who's with the Greek guy?
Oh,
the older woman. What's her name? Lena? No.
Have never been loved. Morena. I just want to say I have no experience.
She looks like she'd take you out with one swipe.
It's like, imagine saying that, like, whilst trying to be loved.
I do feel very sorry for her partner. I'm sorry. I mean,
Tony.
I'm sure.
And Tony, in Tony's world.
Yeah.
She's terrifying.
He gave me a boy. I wanted a man.
Yeah, Heather Draper, finger wagger.
Finger wagger and pointer.
I ordered a man. I got a boy.
I got
Tony. And do you remember in the first episode when she said she'd had a terrible relationship with her previous husband? We were like, oh, and now we're like, where's that husband?
I do worry about Tony. And you, little boy.
No.
Jesus.
And when the expert, because you saw her just shift, because she felt, obviously, I don't know, I'm not a psychiatrist, I can't diagnose anybody, I should never say anything, but she felt a bit like a narcissist because she was going, when the experts were saying,
I know.
When Jono was saying, oh, how does that land for you, Marina?
Don't you love the way John
How
just
does that
looks like this
land? Yeah. John has been, he's our hero.
He does this when he goes,
yeah.
Back down.
Back down. How does that land for you, Marina?
How does that land?
And you point your finger.
Yeah.
And she suddenly went, she gathered herself. She
looked.
Oh, I didn't know I did that. I'm going to pay real attention to that in the future.
Which one is Adrian?
Once I'm loved.
Which one
Tony is like, he's got to be the most
Tony
patient,
is petrified,
optimistic man that ever walked the planet.
No, I know, and he's very sweet. He keeps looking up at her. Which one's Adrian? Is he the one? Is he the one of the two crazies that are kind of having crazy rows all the time? It's quite something. And the trailer for tonight's episode is dramatic because we've also got. Is that Adrian? I can't remember.
It's got to the point now where we can't go out.
No, and also I've heard somewhere. I think Chris Kundle, you said at some point the police are called. So where the hell does that happen?
Chris Kundle lives in Australia, so he's saying it.
Yeah.
Marina, I do not want any spoilers. I want this to unfold. Now, who do we want? Who do we believe has a real chance? I believe the two that got married last night. I think they're going to stay together.
The two that got married, yes, I agree.
You know the really saucy couple, very good looking, the woman is, and the guy is French. I'm a little bit worried. I think they really like each other. I think chemistry is good at everything. But I think they've gone too sexy at the beginning, and I'm a bit worried they've peaked. So is anyone else a bit worried that they've peaked?
Who? Sorry.
The French guy. And the woman with the perfect figure.
I think it's going to go wrong.
Do you?
Yeah, I genuinely do. And I also think your chap, Jeff, and his girlfriend, we're going to see some little kind of cracks in there too.
Jackie Valino, can you please let me know the name of the couple we watched? Does anyone know who they are?
Sorry, I'm just dealing with something.
I don't know who they are. We'll find it. We'll put it up underneath. We'll put it underneath here afterwards, Jackie. Oh, it's Julius. Sorry.
Oh my God. So he got your number?
Yeah. No, this is a spoilers one. So you can't be listening to this because we can't talk about it unless we can spoil it. Karina and Paul at the airport seem too perfect.
I can't think of any of their names.
What about the blonde one that looks like Lady Gaga? We love her. The one that looks like Lady Gaga with the guy with the neck tat.
Oh, she's fantastic.
I love her
her energy. I love her energy. She
no spoilers from Australia. That's all right. Yeah.
Okay. No, I have to say it's a fantastic show. It's batshit crazy. It's going to get a whole lot worse. I don't. What's
Someone
the name of the
Sally
guy who
Webb.
sort of mumbles? What's the name of the guy who mumbles? It's trailed. Spoilers. Trailed that he's departed tonight. With the woman who I think looks like one of the Kardashians. The mum.
That I want that girl to leave him. I can't.
But he was playing
stand
footsie
him.
with the other lady.
The one with the babe, with the little boy.
Yeah, she
obviously
breaks my heart.
She is with a bad boy.
Yeah.
Right. No two ways about it. And the sex, and she got pregnant at 15 and she stayed in a relationship that she wasn't happy in for the sake of her child. She's come out and they've given her a real bad boy, and it makes me so sad.
Well, also
but she keeps saying we've got great connection, which means obviously they're having hot sex, which is not good.
The one thing I hate about him, and I can't abide, is he keeps sneering. And I was so pleased when John, the therapist, said to him, you keep sort of smiling, looking away and looking at all the blokes. He's a smirker. And I know a couple of people who smirk in exactly the same way. Is that Adrian? Adrian, bad vibes. But he was playing footsie with the woman who's gone as cold as ice with Billy. What the hell has gone?
What about when he goes there? What about when he was walking back into the sitting room? He goes, oh yeah, we had sex last night. And he came in and she was like this. And I went,
Billy,
Jesus Christ, that's got to have been the worst sex you've ever had in your life.
But to be brutally honest to her,
so angry.
When they had intimacy week, he just threw the oil all over her back.
Yeah,
that's a bit icky.
And she was saying, "I want this and I want that," and she was like getting all in the mood. And I just don't think, and it's okay, you know. Why are all men expected to be sexual? He's just not that sexual. I've just realised the fucking door has been open all the way.
Everyone is heard us.
Every neighbour
Anything we've said
us.
that we're not too embarrassed about?
No, but the neighbours don't want to
I
hear
want you
us.
to polish my tomatoes, please.
No.
Please.
Listen, we've got to go. We've
Yes,
been
we've
on
got to
here
go.
over
We've
an
really got to
hour.
go because we're
So
filming
guys,
curlies.
do us a favour. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. It doesn't take you anything to just go like that, and it makes us happy having more subscribers.
Yeah. And take my advice at the beginning, otherwise just fuck off.
And we've got the winner of the £100 voucher, Asda voucher, which we will be announcing on the Curly Cooks of Croydon Instagram. Okay. So do follow us there, because me and Dean are going to do a little announcement, and we have the winner.
Brilliant. So the announcement's going to happen on the Curly Cooks of Croydon Instagram account. That's good. I didn't know. Okay, guys, have a lovely day. Keep your comments coming in. Keep sharing with us what your thoughts on a wholesome life are. Is it just for wankers, or is it not? Let us know.